What are you supposed to do when the content you planned on creating doesn't feel right anymore? You feel a little bit like, I don't know that this is the right time to put out this kind of content. That's what we're talking about today, so let's get right to it. Hey everybody, Krystal here today, and I'm excited to bring you this video. This is actually something that I've really had to adopt in the last few weeks of everything that's going on in the world, and I wanted to share this message with you because not only do I think it's really funny, but I think that it is the exact concept that we need right now in the world today. Are you ready for it? Okay. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if it was in a movie somewhere or if it's just one of those random things that my brother, because he loves to make funny sayings up, if he said it and I just went with it, it could be from like traditional literary books somewhere. I don't know. But the saying is, if you're feeling froggy, jump. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. If you're feeling froggy, I want you to jump. What the heck does that mean, right? So for me, it means I've sat down for the last 2 weeks to create content, whether it's for this video channel or it's for the podcast. And I've had just kind of this inner stuff going on where I'm just like, man, things that I had planned at the beginning of the year don't feel right as I sit down to record stuff. So instead of forcing my way through it, which I've done in the past, doesn't work out well, I said, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to change things up. And if you've checked out my other videos, I have these right here, all about planning your content for your podcast. Go check those out. But if you've done that and you are a planner like me, I normally have months of content like planned out, like all these ideas, like I have people asking me questions and I stumble upon new things that I learn and I want to share those on my podcast and on this video channel, and they just don't feel right. So what I've done is I've taken these concepts of my content calendar and I've just shifted everything down, and I've included things that are either bonus podcast episodes or extra videos or more Facebook Lives. I've incorporated what my audience needs to hear right now, and so what I had planned to tell them, which all of the content I've already planned for the year is still relevant. It's just not relevant right now because I've reached out to my audience. I've asked them, I've asked you, I've asked my podcast listeners, what do y'all need from me right now? What do you want to hear? What are the topics that you want me to cover? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm putting out. And it doesn't mean that all those ideas that I had, like they're gone, they're worthless, or I'm never going to amount to anything. No, it just means that I'm going to use those later. I'm going to save those for another day because right here, right now, the most important thing that I need to do is show up. Just continue to show up instead of forcing myself to talk about these things. And I'm just like, gosh, I'm just not really passionate about this right now. I don't know that it's right. And I force it, like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I want you to know that I'm going to continue to show up. Even if you cannot see me, which is what I was trying to say, on the podcast, you can tell when someone is not being genuine. You can tell when someone is not showing up with energy. Like, you can feel it, you guys. I can feel it. I can feel it when I don't show up and I'm just not in it. I'm not like, and I don't feel it in my bones. It doesn't excite me. And that is a slippery slope, my friends. If you start getting into that, like, well, I'd already planned to do this, so I'm just going to keep going, even though I don't really feel right about it. And I don't think it's the thing that my audience wants to hear. I'm just going to keep going because it's what I plan to do. I think that that is dangerous grounds because it's very easy to slip into a mentality of, why am I doing this? I'm not even excited about this anymore. Why am I still showing up? And that, my friend, is where I see podcasters burn out. It's where I see them quit. And it's where I see them just stop showing up. Like you're ghosting your audience because you don't know why you're doing this anymore. So please, 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 please hear me, my friend. If you're watching this and you're feeling that, like that friction, that rubbing of just like, I just don't know, that the content I had planned to do is right now, then don't do it. If you're feeling froggy, jump. That means if you're feeling any of that angst, you're feeling any of that uneasiness, then I encourage you to pivot, to simply switch directions, change things up, and just know that you can always go back to the content you had planned. But if you're feeling that, really evaluate it and figure out what it is that you can do for your audience instead. And if you're like, well, how do I even do that? Ask them. Ask them. Your audience will tell you what they need from you right now. Maybe it's encouragement, maybe it's motivation, maybe it's just to know that you're still there and you still care about them. But please continue to show up for your audience right now more than ever. So tell me in the comments below, what are some other creative ways that you can show up for your audience right now? I know I'm doing extra Facebook Lives for people that are in my course and my membership community because I want them to really know that I'm there. And I'm not trying to send out too many more emails because I've noticed an uptick in all of my emails, just like everybody and their dog is sending a ton of emails right now. So I've been trying to get creative in ways that I can show up for my audience. So tell me in the comments below how you can show up different for your audience right now and how you can pivot to really have that extra sense of connection in this time. Okay, let's get back to the video. So that does it for today. So make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe below if you haven't already, and make sure you check out the free 5-day podcast bootcamp. You're gonna find the link below in the description. Check out these other videos right here that are all about podcasting because that's what we love to talk about around here, you guys. Every single week, we have brand new podcasting videos, and I encourage you to check back because we change things up and we pivot and we keep going with the flow, but we always remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.